everybody. Welcome to the Marc and Coco show. Ain't no liquor in it. Ain't no liquor in it. Too early in the day for that. Those are shenanigans I ain't got time for right at this time. How you doing, Coco? I got you while you drinking. There's liquor in that one, ain't it?
No. No.
Oh,
A
girl,
cup
you know you
of eggnog tea.
Eggnog tea. Mm-hmm.
It tastes like eggnog. It's weird.
Eggnog, aka Kahlua.
No, but you know I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm not one to drink like that.
Just get a little enough to get the wolf off your back.
No.
Uh-huh.
I like wolves, so.
I'm telling Mama.
Go ahead, tell Mama. She doesn't care. The only alcohol I guess you can drink is when I cook. Like I'll use red wine.
Well, shoot, right about now, Mama probably be like, "Yeah, oh, you got some clue in here? You ain't tell me. You ain't give me no clue. You better give me a cup."
I don't know the last time Mom had a drink of alcohol.
It's probably been a while. Mom was never a big drinker anyway.
I think that's where I've gotten it. Well, no. I had a situation in college where my drink was spiked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that'll do it.
I was like, nope, I'm out. No more drinking.
I didn't really drink till I got, I'm not telling on myself. I didn't really drink till I got a senior in high school, really.
Senior?
I mean, I've had some alcohol before, but, you know, I wouldn't get bent.
But that's when a lot of people start drinking, right?
Yeah, but that changed after Granddad died. And when Granddad died, I was like, nah, I'm not.
But you know, now that you mention that, I think that's why I don't drink, because I was around him when he was full on alcoholic, and I was like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I still drink. Don't get me wrong. But I don't get drunk. I don't get drunk. I don't do that. I might get as soon as I get like a little bit of tipsy, I stop.
So what do you enjoy about drinking?
I barely don't get tipsy. I might have a beer or two, and that's it. And if I'm drinking whiskey, I might have a glass. That's it. Same thing with wine. I might have a glass of wine, and that's it. I'll nurse it all night long. Yeah.
Babysit it. So. What do you enjoy about drinking?
It's strictly social, really.
Is that why I don't have any?
Well, I mean, there will be times where, like, if I have a long day, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna strap one on right quick. But for the most part, I only drink, you know, socially.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, I have a liquor cabinet, and I got some pretty cool stuff in there, but most time, honestly, that's up to everybody else. I don't really drink that much. I am a Jack Daniel's squire, though. I will say that. I do drink some Jack, and I am a card carrying squire.
I like the way it smells.
Mhm.
It has such a.
It's Jack Daniel's to me is like it's like the Coca-Cola of alcohol. It's got so many different notes in it. It's just, I don't know. I love Jack.
It is beautiful. It's a beautiful fragrance to it. Like I can see myself wearing it. I know there is this perfume where it has listed notes whiskey.
Yeah.
Like one of the notes, I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Well, I know some people used to take a dab of whiskey and just put it behind their ears.
For what purpose?
Smell the alcohol. And people would smell it on you. Smells delicious.
It's the vanilla notes in it, I guess.
Yeah, you attracted the wrong people.
Well, you smell like whiskey.
You smell like you've been at the dive bar. But yeah, so I am a Jack Daniel squire. So
okay, I have to ask you this because I just remembered. So yesterday was the Super Bowl. Did you watch it?
A little bit of it. I didn't have a dog in the fight. So
yeah. Only thing I watched was the halftime show.
I did not see that, but I heard it was pretty good. I heard
Weeknd.
I heard a lot of older people didn't like it. Older people didn't like it.
They probably didn't understand what they were looking at or hearing.
Yeah, I mean the whole. I mean, I I saw the Weeknd was this last year? Last year when he came out with these bandages and stuff. I was like, man,
From
what's
his
going on with this
video.
dude?
Yeah, it
And
was
then
video.
and then he had like the prosthetic stuff on. No, he's going out in public with it on.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. And then he had this like prosthetic. People were like, man, what's going on with dude? Oh, but then I read a thing, an article about him. So basically, it's a character from the album.
Yeah,
And
it's in the music.
Yeah.
Have you seen the music video? It's talking about.
Yeah, after I read after I read the article, he was talking about how the character progresses through his videos. I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, so now I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and I guess he was because I've been a fan of his since like House of Balloons when you could go like he gave his whole album away for free. I went online, downloaded it. It was a long time ago, long time ago. But I just love how he tells stories.
Yeah.
So you didn't.
Yeah, Weeknd's the Weeknd's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I can dig it.
I want to go to his concert in June, but I'm kind of like,
nah, that's all right. I'll catch you next year, player.
I don't know that he'll tour next year.
Catch you next year.
What?
Yeah, it's all the way through 2020, 2022. Excuse me.
Yeah,
he's got tour dates all the way through 2022.
Okay, maybe I need to look and see where he'll be next year. Because June, I'm just kind of like, no, it's July. That doesn't make any difference, really. So I'm just kind of like,
yeah, because I think he's going because I think he's doing the U.S. tour, then he's doing international, then he's coming back.
Oh, okay. I'm curious to know if how they're gonna book the tickets. Because when I go online, like you can't really see if someone's going to be sitting next to you or not, if they're going to be socially distancing the concert. And I will say, if they're doing that, I may be more tempted to actually go because I hate concerts how they were before.
Well, what I can probably tell you that it'll probably be spaced out for a while. I'm thinking we got at least another year of this.
Yeah.
They keep acting like they're just gonna open the floodgates this year, but they're not gonna do that.
No.
Because the government didn't. The government did not give companies the ability not to get litigated for giving somebody COVID. That's something that Mitch McConnell wanted, and it didn't get passed. So companies are still liable. Yeah, companies are still liable. So I think they're gonna take every precaution possible. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have to think about it because I really want to go. I love him. But
yeah.
Okay, that's your opinion.
He ain't no Jill Scott.
Well, he's not trying to be. He's the Weeknd. He does. You do such a disservice comparing people. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know what I'm doing.
So we don't have much to talk about in terms of the Super Bowl since you didn't watch it, and
I mean that's all the highlights. I mean that's all I heard about all morning.
Really?
I watched the highlights of it. Yeah. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I've never liked Tom Brady.
I'm even less a fan because of the whole Trump hat.
I didn't like him before that. I didn't like him. But
why? As a player?
I didn't like him. No, I just didn't like him. I just didn't. He just doesn't. He does not appeal to me.
The level of arrogance.
I get.
I know some people say he has a level of arrogance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Come on. I mean, honestly, he can afford to be arrogant. I mean, you gotta look at somebody who went to college, played for Michigan, was drafted really, really low. It was a very low prospect. Went to a terrible team and made it one of the greatest teams of all time.
What
and
team?
then from there, the Patriots.
Oh, really?
They were.
Yeah,
he was underneath Drew Bledsoe.
Okay,
that
name sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great quarterback.
Does he have
Drew has a winery.
Does he have a brother? Huh? Is he the one with the brother?
Who, Bledsoe?
No, Brady.
The brother.
There's someone that has a brother. Maybe I'm thinking basketball. See, I'm so not a sports person. Don't look at me like that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, what does brother got to do with it? Yeah. But
I'm just
so he was not like a big prospect at all. Took a team, made it a great team. In every Super Bowl, they just undersell him. I mean, they just write him off like, eh. But he keeps winning Super Bowls. Then he gets let. And then he gets let go. Yeah, he gets let go by the Patriots. I mean, because of his age, not because he's playing terrible, because it's his age.
Really?
They let him go, so he goes to Tampa Bay, which is
so
a speculative team. Yeah, it was a speculative team. Like, yeah, Tampa Bay. And people were like, man, we ain't never gonna hear from Tom Brady again. And I'll be damned. Here we go. Here we go. So, I would say he's the GOAT.
At this point,
he's the GOAT.
Is. Because how many Super Bowls is it? It's just ridiculous.
I can't remember now.
It's an obscene number. It really is an obscene number.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He is the GOAT.
And I know a lot of people don't. They're like, I don't like him because of this, and this. I mean, he earned his place in history. So
yeah, and he's a true underdog. He's a true underdog, truly. Yeah. And now there was a question, when the Patriots winning, was it Belichick or was it Brady? Which one brought the Patriots all those championships? That question has been answered.
I mean, this is like the biggest, like, middle finger that you could give somebody.
Oh yeah, I'm
literally
pretty sure
gave them a big F and shove.
Yeah, and smiling all the way. Smiling all the way.
But
so I know Brady said he's gonna play till he's 45, but
yeah, I heard that, but I don't think so. You think he will?
Yeah.
Think so?
Why not? As long as his offensive line can protect him, yeah, I don't see why not.
Well, I guess he really doesn't do much.
I'm not putting anything past Tom Brady. Nothing. I don't care for him. I really don't care for him. I don't like him.
You don't like his energy?
Nah,
his energy to me seems.
He's fake.
He's what?
He's fake. He's fake. He one of them fake people. No doubt.
You can't get a read in terms of where he stands. You know me, I like to know where people stand.
You get a read.
Well, he stands over there in the corner because I'm just like,
Yeah, he's an asshole. He is. I mean, he's nice in public and everything, but he's an ass.
Is he?
But at the same time, he's the GOAT.
He doesn't have to be nice. I guess from that standpoint.
No.
Is he nice to kids at least? Is he friendly with kids? Oh.
Yeah.
Because I know I can't remember what player it is. Like, he has a really bad reputation. Like, people are like, oh, he's such a nasty person. But then he's around, like, he loves kids. Like, that's like his zone. And I was just like, it just seems to me that he just chooses who he messes with in terms of adults. And some adults you just don't want. They're toxic.
Nah,
They
because
want
adults
something
want.
from you, and kids don't
Yeah,
genuinely want anything from you.
nah, they don't. Not, and if they do want something from you, it's something really small that
Like, can I have a
ain't no
hug?
price tag.
Can I
Yeah,
touch your hair? You know, it's like can I touch your skin? Like kids do that. Ask the weirdest stuff.
yeah. They're not asking for money or anything like that.
Can you say my name? Like, it's like, really?
Yeah, yeah. So there are a lot of athletes like that, and plus, kids are they're your future fans, future big fans, and honestly, kids, um, they drive a lot of sports memorabilia, jersey sales, stuff like that. So for any athlete who don't care for kids, your jersey's not gonna sell.
Oh. Well,
You know how many kids are still buying Michael Jordan jerseys?
yeah.
They ain't never seen him play. Never seen him play.
You remember when Aaron went through that phase?
Yeah,
That
sure
that was
enough.
a funny phase. I was looking back at the pictures where she was like full on like
Jordan.
wanting Michael Jordan.
I was like, you ain't never seen this man play a day in your life.
But she
He's the
just
greatest of
began,
all. He's the greatest of all time, Daddy. I said, you ain't never seen him. You know.
but she did research on him and she realized that he was too.
No, I had to show her that.
So
I had to
where
make
did
her do it.
she come up with it? Like what was the connection?
Just kids in school.
They were talking about him.
Yeah, kids in school. That's all. That's where she got it from. But when I showed her, the YouTube games, and we went back and looked at some old games and stuff like that, she was like, "Whoa!" Yeah, he was like, "Dad, this dude was good." I was like, "Yeah, he was. He was really good."
So who would you say, or would you say, is he still the GOAT? Has he been?
Who, Jordan?
Yeah. Is there a new person that can stand at his level? 'Cause I know some people were saying Kobe,
No,
but
no,
mm,
no,
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 you don't think so?
no. That those hardcore Laker fans. I'm not. No, Kobe wouldn't even. No, no. Kobe missed a lot. He missed a lot of shots. God rest Kobe. But bro, you missed a lot of shots. You missed a lot of shots, bro. You took a lot of shots and you missed a lot of shots.
Okay.
And it could be argued that he wouldn't have won many without Shaq. And I think that's a good argument.
Right,
Um,
right. His team really supported him. Like he had a good team around him, and they worked hella well together.
yeah, they were good. They were a good
Yeah,
team. But honestly, I mean, to have Shaq in the middle and Kobe on the perimeter, what you gonna do?
yeah, that's true.
Who you gonna guard? Wait, I
That's true.
mean, what?
I feel like Shaq doesn't get as much recognition that he should be getting, in my opinion.
No, because he's a big goofball,
But what's
and
wrong with that?
people are more drawn to his size and his personality rather than his talent. Unlike Kobe was kind of quiet, and so you kind of just
Oh,
look to
all
his
you
talent.
had was his talent.
But
I got okay, gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
and Shaq is like in your face, and he's
He's a big
funny, and he's a
personality.
huge guy, and people that's what people are drawn to. Even if Shaq didn't play any basketball, I think he'd still be famous some type of way.
Probably, because he just has that type of personality and that energy. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So today's topic is interracial couples. You said you wanted to have a discussion around this. Do you still want to have a discussion
Yeah,
around this? I will
yeah.
politely sit down because I have never dated outside. I
So
dated
you
one
frozen
time.
again.
Huh? I'm still here.
There you go.
I'm still
You back?
here.
There you go. You were frozen.
You weren't frozen on my end.
Yeah, you was just like
Well, I will let you take the lead on this. I've only been on one date with someone outside of my race, and
Ooh, I'm telling
Mama knows. But you know what?
damn,
It's funny what
I
sticks with
can't.
you. What sticks with you growing up? I will always remember between mom and grandma and Aunt Emma telling me, "Don't you end up being no white boy's experiment."
Yeah. Well, there's
But
a backstory to that. You know, there's a
there's
backstory to that,
truth
right?
to it though. But they were right. Like when I went to high school, I went to school with like ridiculously rich white kids. Like like the kids from what's that movie? Pretty in Pink. Like that
Yeah,
level where you didn't even realize that the parents were even there because they weren't there. And so
yeah.
they knew what they were talking about. And I knew where it was rooted from too as well. It goes back to slave times and Jim Crow and
No, it goes back to them personally.
well
I
that too, their own experiences.
do you know about the judge?
Which judge?
Okay, then you don't know that. We'll talk about that
How do
offline.
I say? I don't
But
think we should discuss this online.
no, okay, no, we'll talk about this offline. But yeah,
Okay.
they got personal experiences that affected them.
Well, I do
They,
know some of the experiences. I won't say which one, but um, just sometimes white men, and I will say there was a shift. You know, this probably happened to this person like back in the 50s, 40s, 50s, where white men could just walk around and just like pull you into. They could just do whatever they wanted to you without any repercussions.
yeah.
So when you have those type of experiences, it really
Well, they
does
could.
affect
Well,
you.
in the 40s and 50s, they could do that with any woman.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
But they really knew they could get away with it a lot more with black women because we were
Yeah,
indispensable.
because they gonna call the police.
Right.
White women,
White
white
women,
women
they
gonna call
get
the police.
them at home to take care of the kids in
Yeah,
the house.
still,
Yeah.
still gonna let them go. Still gonna let them go, but just have to deal with the hassle.
Right. Right.
You gonna call the police. I mean, they're gonna show up without the sirens on. Yeah, like,
Maybe
come
like a
on,
week later. And then they'll start
man.
questioning you.
Yeah,
What did you do to bring this
right.
to your
Exactly.
like what?
Exactly.
Do you not see this
Exactly.
black eye and bruises? Like, yeah, I punched
Mhm.
myself in the eye.
Yeah, but it's something else.
It's just so
It's something else.
interesting how things have changed um from those times is now into interracial
I
couples and dating.
I think for one, the standards of beauty have changed. The standards of beauty have changed.
I was so
Um,
expecting you to make that point. Elaborate on that.
well, especially when it comes to white men. White men, the 1980s profile.
I know
Oh,
where you're going with this. Yes.
yeah, is gone. A perfect example would be Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back.
I like big butts and I
Big butts that I cannot lie, right?
can't deny.
That was the genesis of it. They've always loved it, but I think
Who loved it?
they are afraid to say it. White men, they
Well,
always loved it,
clearly.
but they were afraid to say it. You know, Uh, they were afraid to pursue it. Um,
And
but
publicly, yeah, publicly, yes.
yeah, 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 yeah. But now it's kind of like the for the longest time, the standard of beauty was light skin, long hair, blue, green eyes. That's about it.
Skinny.
That's it. And it still applies today. I mean, you got countries like India and the Philippines where they have huge markets
Korea.
of skin lightening cream. I mean,
Africa. Yeah.
they're some of the biggest consumers of skin lightening cream in the world.
They have some amazing, amazing skin lightening products. Let me just tell you.
Yeah. So and that's due to colonialism and all that stuff like that, But anyway, those standards are kind of changing. It's no longer that. It's not that anymore.
Here in the States?
Around the world.
I don't know,
changing.
Mark. I don't know. It's a slow progression. And there's some
I mean,
where
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen overnight.
They're actually starting to think about light is right. Like a lot of African countries that did not have that mindset before. You're starting to see where they're lightening their skin and like
they've been doing that for years. As soon as they were able to do it,
like that's so weird.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years because I mean, it's going to be a slow process because you're talking about decades upon decades upon decades upon decades of being told that this right here is what you want to be. It doesn't get any more, better than this. Everybody in this country is ugly compared to like my wife from England because we're English. So everybody should aspire to be her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's not talking about his wife. FYI.
No.
I would love to hear Lori speak.
I didn't mean to say it like that.
Accent. Tell Lori to work on her British accent next time I'm around.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
Like Mark told me you're British.
Yeah. So like to see my etchings.
Yes.
But it's slowly changing, and I think women of color are starting to come into their own, and you can see that in a lot of commercials because I don't know if this is just me, but there's a lot of commercials out there with interracial couples, a lot. And I remember it was a couple years ago.
Oh, the Cherrios.
The Cherrios thing, where there was this huge uproar over this commercial of this interracial couple that they were not even in the same room. The father was in the kitchen, the mother was laying in the bed or something like that, on the couch. She was on the couch.
Yeah.
And the child was in the kitchen, took some Cherrios or something, went into the other room and gave it to the mother. People went crazy. People were upset, like, how can you do this? You can't do this. And Cherrios was like, nah, player.
They were like, okay, your problem's not ours.
This is the change, yeah. And now it's like Kia commercials, beer commercials, every commercial right now, at the very least, has a person of color in it.
You know what's interesting with the Cherrios commercial is you first started seeing like black men with white women, and then like
it's the other way around now. It's the other way right now.
I remember the first time I saw the commercial, I was like, that's a black woman with a white man. What?
Yep. And now almost all interracial couples are white men with black women.
Yes. Why is that? I have my
because the standards of beauty are changing.
Well, you can see that, and I hear that when I talk to like plastic surgeons about there's a guy, he's been a plastic surgeon since the 70s. And so he gave this talk. It was really, really, I'll have to see if I can find it for those that want to see it. But he talked about the progression in the standard of beauty. And it was just so interesting to see. And now the standard of beauty is big lips, bigger, fuller lips. I'm not going to say fuller lips, bigger butts. And now he was saying that there's
curve your waist.
There's this progression with thicker thighs, because most Okay, the thing about it is, if you have a butt, you tend to have thighs because you need some support to carry around the butt.
Right.
So, that's why it's always interesting. You can kind of tell who's had like butt augmentation. It's like your legs are like toothpick thin. Like what? That's not. It's not. It doesn't look natural. Yeah.
Not in anymore. And what's funny to me is like the profile of a girl in the 70s.
Oh, so
what was hot back then.
What was it? Flat?
Now,
back?
Yeah, just CD case. Yep.
Not CD case.
Yep. That was in. It was all about this.
The face.
All about this. And now it's everything. You got to have everything. If you don't have everything,
that's even more exhausting, though, don't you think?
No, because
more
women of color have everything.
Oh well, yeah, but here's the thing that I find really annoying with that. Is as a Black woman and as a Black person, you get so tired of things being taken from you. And you just remember the struggles that you had having those things that were like you can't get rid of your butt and like your boobs and your fuller lips. Like that's just how we are designed. And so now it's like, now you're telling me that this is okay to have?
Yeah. It was always okay to have.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't, because that wasn't the standard of beauty. In the public. In public. Oh.
In public. In public.
Private, everything goes in private.
No, it wasn't. Publicly, no. Privately, yes. Yeah.
But in private, everything goes in private. Like it really does.
If you don't believe me,
I don't
believe me. Go to a strip club, any strip club, and ask them, who is your most popular dancer? Who makes the most money?
I already know what they look like.
Yep, you do know exactly what they look like. And they've always had that profile.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. I remember my friend in college, she stripped her way through college, and she never had a chest, but she had the biggest butt and thighs that I have ever seen on the tiniest little frame. Like she had the smallest little waist, but she had a big old booty and some big old thighs. And the men just loved her. She had no chest at all. Just two little acorns. Boop. Just like my sound effects. Boop. Anyway.
I'm not even going there. Leave that alone. But yeah. So I mean, so the standards are changing, and it's gonna take a while to fully get there. But you're starting to see it in Hollywood too. A lot of these.
So slow though.
Well, because Hollywood has always had this new batch white women coming in.
They all look the same.
Exactly. They all look the same.
Is it really Hollywood, or is it we as Black people and minorities were like, you know what? We don't need Hollywood to put our movies and like Tyler Perry, prime example. He's the opposite of what Hollywood would consider as being
I think it's bigger than that. I think white men have said,
trying to cash in on it.
I think white men have said, you know what? It's okay.
Well, thank you, white men, for giving us the green light. Yeah. It's okay.
They said it's okay.
Thank you for your acceptance.
They're like, we are not going to,
it's money.
Talk about this in private. Now it's in the open.
But what is driving it though?
Huh?
what's driving this shift and change, and like, oh, it's okay, we could talk about things in the public eye that we used to have in private.
I think
I'll share you what I think my two
I
thoughts.
think two two women,
Two
two
women.
women,
Who?
Serena Williams
Oh yeah.
and Kim Kardashian. They kicked the door open. They kicked the door open to where white men were like, you know what? I gotta have this. I can't. Becky, you go away.
Oh, poor Becky. What did Becky do to you?
I rebuke
Becky
you,
needs
Satan.
love too.
I rebuke you, Satan, for this flat bootiness. I can't do this no more. I can't do this. I can't do this. I want what I
All about
want.
the booty. Is that what you're saying? Oh my God. Men, I tell you, men.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, I've seen more interracial couples than ever before. And you know, I would say 5 years ago, it was more black men with white women. But now, I'm seeing a lot more black women with white men. It's happening more and more.
There's two reasons why that's
Because,
happening.
because it's getting more acceptable.
That's one
There's
of
no, there's no taboo. The taboo is gone. There's no taboo anymore. Because I remember, and you probably did this when you were younger, and you saw a black girl with a white man. You were like, oh.
when I was younger.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
Probably
what's
college.
going on with this? And you questioned it,
Well,
right?
I don't.
No. Come on, be honest. You was like, what's going on with this? But that's
I don't recall
like,
having that reaction.
well, that's what we've been
But
taught.
I think
And
I've
so
seen
this,
that though.
but and now that stigma has gone away.
Yeah.
It's going away.
It's going away somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so now, I mean, you got people of color around the world now that are being accepted as beautiful that 20 years ago to just being yeah, she alright.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, that girl's beautiful.
But
Like, see, another thing I think the fashion industry has really had a hand in it too, because the fashion industry, for the longest time, to have a supermodel was to basically have
was a man with
basically
boobs and vagina.
a popsicle stick.
Yeah.
The supermodel. She made a supermodel just because she was tall. She was over 5'10", 5'11". That's supermodel. But like, no, if you go back and look at the supermodels from the '80s, you'd be like, ugh. If you look at them today, you'd be like, these women are not attractive.
Maybe
Not
not.
attractive.
Maybe they will.
Mm-mm.
See, everyone has a
no.
different level of acceptance
Go
when it comes to
go look at
because
Claudia
there's still
Schiffer.
plenty of
Go
people
look
who
go
don't
look
have
at
big
Claudia.
booties.
Go look at Claudia Schiffer, and you'd be like, why? Why? She got this, but she ain't got nothing else.
Well,
The
you
same
know what?
thing
I will
with
say this.
Cindy Crawford.
I never really saw them as being these great beauties, in my opinion.
Nobody did except for white people. And they were like, this is the standard. And we were like, what?
You're like,
Nah, player.
why?
Yeah, we never, yeah. I mean, as a collective, we never kind of went with it.
We're like, let us show you our Cindy. Cindy, come here. This is what Cindy looks like in our world. Yeah.
Yeah, let me show you Cindy. You know what I'm saying?
Cindy Sand.
Cindy with the little apostrophe on the end of it. With an I.
It's spelled with an S. Sinde.
But yeah. But I think fashion has a lot to do with it too. Because I can't think of the guy's name, but there was a designer who said, I don't want a whole bunch of white women modeling my clothes. I'll make clothes for everybody. I want beautiful people. I want interesting looking people. I can't remember which designer it was. I want to say it was Marc Jacobs, Tom Ford, somebody like that.
Sounds like something Jacob would do.
Yeah, he wanted people who looked interesting. So he went and got tall, short, heavily freckled, big breast, big butt, you know, something that made this person stand out. And because they stood out, they were beautiful. And that like changed the whole industry.
Yeah.
So I think the levels of our psyche on what is the epitome of beauty has been overwritten by our natural thinking of what beauty is. Because what we've been taught for so long, that's fake. That's not real beauty.
That's not what the average woman looks like, too. You know?
No, I mean these are average women.
Well, some of them are, some of them aren't. When you think about like supermodel, how many average like even
you're talking about supermodels, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the oval level of whiteness, just being white. No, I'm talking about supermodels. I'm not going that deep. I'm just talking about just being a lighter skin tone. Yeah. All that's gone.
Caucasian.
All that's gone. Yeah.
But you know what's always interesting is how Caucasian women like over in Europe, they always have had like meat on their bones. You know what I mean? Like I remember that growing up. Because I had a friend, she was from there's a white girl that was from London. And she would just get so frustrated, you know, like, oh, I can never, my body isn't good enough. Cause she was more similar to like the black girls or the Latina girls um in our little neighborhood. And so she struggled with trying to get the attention of white men. So she ended up with like, I think her first boyfriend was like Hispanic. And now she's married to a white man. I mean, a black man. So,
yeah.
And I think it's about too, because I have a male friend. He's so funny. He was saying that he used to always encourage the white girls that he went to high school with, like, come on, come date a brother. Like we'll show you appreciation for all that you have to offer. Like I always remember him saying that.
Yeah.
But I think black men do tend to be, and even Latin men, they tend to be more accepting of humps and bumps on body.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
what they want.
They like it.
Yeah. Black men typically we don't
like, yeah, like
we don't like stick figures.
Why is that?
We like stretch marks. We like stretch marks.
Oh my god.
We like stretch marks. You know, well because one it's very motherly. It means it's like it's like having a big old tattoo of your body that says nurturer.
Stretch marks?
Yeah, it's just something comforting about it. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But a lot of black men like, yeah, stretch marks, got no problem with that. Like stretch marks. You know, as long as they ain't too stretchy, you know.
You know, do you remember? I can't remember. What is his name? Yes, I'm just gonna gloss over what you just said. What is his name? Little short comedian. Like, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking
Cat
about.
Williams.
Yes, Cat
Cat
Williams.
Williams.
So sorry, Cat Williams. Yes. There's a part where he talks about stretch marks. Have you seen that? That little,
I probably have. I'm sure I've seen
yeah,
all the stand up.
where he's like stretch marks. Like he's talking to women like you need to get over it or something like that. Stretch marks mean like one or two things. You were fat and you got skinny.
Oh yeah, okay, remember that. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Or you were
Yeah,
skinny and you got fat.
you got fat.
You know, you grew some. I was like,
Yeah,
yes, that. Because they do come with like growth. You know, your
right.
body just grows so much. Your skin is just like, wait a minute, what happened? You went from flat
Yeah,
booty to big old booty.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know any any black dudes like ooh stretch marks. Ooh, I don't any, I don't know any black dude who does that.
I
I don't
don't
know any
know.
black dude who does that.
I just have not had the greatest experience with white men approaching me. Um, so I just
But you,
never had
well, I'm talking. This is generally younger people. These are people like in their
like
20s and
20s.
30s. Yeah, this isn't like
So
happening
you're
for our
saying I
generation.
missed the boat? Like I was just
Yeah, you missed it.
what?
You was you
That
were
makes
standing on the
sense.
dock. You were standing on the dock with your ticket. You
That's
either missed
fine.
the
I'm
boat.
perfectly happy with my black man. Okay, I'm fine with
So
my black man that I have.
yeah, so this is the younger generation. So ain't no telling what's gonna happen with the
I don't know because I see
generation after that.
people my age in interracial relationships.
Yeah,
You have
but
to remember
not to this level.
you're older than me.
Not to this level. Not to this level. Mm-mm.
Mm.
I mean, they're everywhere, everywhere. So
But
I
you
mean,
know,
it's just it's
I don't notice it like that, and I don't know if it's because I'm not in a interracial relationship. So, you know,
I
my
really didn't.
friend, she
I
was
really didn't.
you have this recognition when you see other interracial couples where you're like, I see you, you know, like you share a certain kind of bond or something. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
ain't gotta do that no more.
Maybe that's a southern thing too. Because
Yeah, it's more of a southern thing.
there's still some parts, you
Yeah,
know, because she was saying
that's
that
other thing.
they don't mess with his certain parts of his family because like she's not allowed to use the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah. That could be anybody's thing. Them
And
people
she
in the
said
South,
she
man.
shared with me that she went to go visit like one of his aunts and she wasn't allowed to sit on the furniture. They went outside and got her a folding chair. I was like, what?
I would I would have left. I'd be like, all right then. I'm out.
They did. Her well, they weren't together, then they were dating. He was like, no. He like she said that moment actually brought them closer together because she was kind of doubting whether she could date a white boy with a racist family like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And he stood up to her. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I do want to ask you about the standard of beauty. Um,
Mhm.
you were saying how it's changed. So just knowing
Yeah.
how standards shift and change, do you think it'll shift to something else?
Mm. Well, I mean, it's always gonna be evolving.
Right.
Um, you know, but it hasn't hit its zenith yet. So this movement has not is nowhere near its zenith yet. So it's still going to build and build and build. I mean, you can go to tell you what, go to a makeup place and look at all the dark toned makeup that they have now that they didn't have before because it was all light.
Oh, foundation colors. Yeah, the range has gotten a lot
Yeah.
more impressive. Yeah,
Oh no. It's ginormous now.
it is huge.
So
Usually it was
yeah,
like two choices, dark and deep.
yeah,
And even if you and that was like a stretch to have dark and deep. Usually it was just like dark. But
right.
now you have
So
like 5 or 10 shades of dark, 5 or 10 shades of deep. So yeah, it has gotten a lot better. I think YouTube has really helped with that, and a lot of the black, like Jackie Aina type of YouTube personalities have really
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a lot of black girls out there doing the makeup and stuff and showing that black girl magic. That
right.
white folks just were like, "Damn, you can do that. I didn't know you could do that."
Hmm.
You know, tricks that black women use for the longest time that white women now adopt.
I know, and it just looks so. I don't know. I struggle with, and we talked about this on the last podcast about how we celebrate Black history, being Black every day, because
Hmm.
we're all living it.
Yeah, and that's part of it. I, I didn't say we weren't gonna get appropriated.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah,
it needs to be,
well,
and I have
heavily.
no problem sharing, just cultural things that I've learned from like my ancestors and what have you. But you need to at least acknowledge where you got it from and stop pretending like, oh, I came up with this all on my own. No, 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 no,
No,
honey. No, no, no,
they're
no.
not gonna do that. They
Right.
can't do that
Well, see,
because in
now
order
I
to,
think people are more bold in saying, no, like people will call you out.
well, the thing is that most white people can't really say that because they don't know where they come from,
That's true.
and they consider themselves to be American. So, in order to be American, means you need to celebrate American culture, which is what?
Black culture.
African American culture. Correct. So they're not gonna come out and say, "Oh well, we got this black folk." They're not gonna say that
Well, some of
because
them
we've
don't
been
realize the connection either. But that's their
no
own personal ignorance,
that
lack of being aware.
well that's too deep for everybody.
Mm,
You can ask the average person on the street. They're gonna be like, "What?" They're not gonna understand that.
yeah, that's true.
That's too deep for them.
But
So
does that give people a pass? Like, oh, I don't know what that means. Like, what? I think that's the problem
yeah,
with
I don't I, I
Americans.
don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with somebody being dumb. If you dumb, then that's no fault of yours. I'm stupid, that's your fault. If you stupid, but if you dumb, that's not your fault. So no, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah,
No, no.
that's true.
But somebody who knows the game trying to sell me on something else, and yeah, okay, yeah, whatever, dude.
Mm. All right, so we are still officially in Black History Month. I saw a meme that said, there's this cartoon with this little white boy and this little black boy, and the little white boy is asking the little black boy about like Black History Month and celebrating. He was like, "No, Black History Month isn't for us; it's for you."
Yeah,
I mean, it really is for
yeah,
educating.
cause yeah, it's for you
I want to.
because we celebrate it every day.
We live
Yeah, I
it.
saw that.
We
Yeah.
live it. Yeah. So my topic of conversation is I lost my train of thought.
There you
All
go.
right, so I remember the topic. The topic is
Okay.
um it's a note to white people about um always seeking knowledge from black people and thinking that every black person is the same. Something that I have greatly experienced, especially working in corporate America when I used to do that.
Mhm.
And always people always coming to you to explain things. And it's just like, dude, I am my type of person who just happens to be black. Like they don't
Right.
understand, like I'm me, but I just happen to be black, you know? So
Yeah.
what would be your recommendation to white people, since this is Black History Month and it's black people educating white people about black people? We're not all the same.
No. You can argue that we are more diverse than the white race is.
Very
Honestly.
true. What drives the differences? I know that's something I know.
What drives the differences?
I think the
Well,
main
you
one,
talk.
social economic differences, really does kind of drive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it
Yeah.
sets us apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
In such a sad
That's
way.
that's one of the big ones. Um,
But there's still
and I mean that's pretty much for everybody. Um,
yeah.
but I think
That's a good point that you make
I
though
think
too. That is it's the same for everybody because I think a lot of white people don't realize that we are a lot more alike than they recognize. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so if you grew up in Beverly Hills and you pretty much know everybody, all your friends live in Beverly Hills. If you grew up in middle class neighborhood, then pretty much everybody you know middle class America.
Right.
You grew up poor, pretty much everybody you know is gonna be poor. Um, so if you don't have a lot of friends that are people of color, then you're gonna buy into the stereotypes, and it's not necessarily their fault because a lot of people come from these small towns that don't have a lot of black people, don't have black people at all,
Yeah,
or
that's
even
true.
that side of town just doesn't have a lot of black people in it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
no fault of their own. Yeah.
no, I mean, what do you expect them to think? Like
Right.
you think
But see,
everybody play basketball,
but you know
and
that
it
I
is
think
not.
that's why it's so important to have better representation on television. Um
That's not gonna happen.
I
Ain't
know
no,
because they
ain't no
want to
money,
maintain a certain
ain't no money in that. And we can't even get good representation in the White House, in Congress, or the Senate. So
tell me about it.
I
That's
mean, so
and we get to
I
vote on
mean,
that.
yeah. So yeah, ain't no money in that. Ain't no money in that at all. But uh, I think for white folks to just look at the fact that we are a very diverse group of people uh, that do everything. You name it. I mean,
Too in so many ways.
wherever you been, we been. Put it that way. How about that? Wherever you been, we been. And sometimes we were there first. And
Hmm.
sometimes we let you take the credit or you stole the credit. Uh, a lot of things that you enjoy today, we invented. Um, how about this? When you think of a king, what is the first thing you think of? Like the crown, right? Having a crown, lots of gold scepter, all that stuff, right? When you think of a king,
Sounds like a
right?
pimp, but yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Are
Where
we
do you think they got that from? Where do you think they got that from?
a pimp?
No.
I told you when you were describing that, I thought of like a pimp.
How many pimps you seen walking around with a crown on their head? Oh, that's right. You in Atlanta. Never mind.
I
that's
mean,
that's GP. You can't be no pimp in Atlanta without no crown. Like, where's your crown, player? You ain't from around here. No. Kings and queens from around the world got it from Africans. Africans were the first to wear the crown, dripped in gold, with a gold
right.
scepter sitting on gold, uh,
A gold throne.
thrones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The kings of Europe, in France and England and Germany, they weren't sitting on thrones. They were sitting in regular chairs. and we're wearing regular clothes, and didn't have a whole bunch of gold and diamonds and all that stuff. They didn't have any of that stuff.
You make a very valid point.
They got that from Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that from Africa. So a lot of things that people take for granted, don't know the backstory of it. More likely, a lot of stuff came from us. All right, well, that's our show today.
Yes.
And we covered a lot of ground today.
We did. We have some extra content that will be over on the YouTube channel as well. Talked about
Word.
So head on over there. Great conversation. Word. I know you got to go and be a daddy.
Yeah, we got to do my daddy thing. You know what I'm saying?
That you have to be a parent.
I know. It costs so much money.
But they give great hugs. Money. Yours does anyway. She still likes you, so enjoy that.
Some expensive hugs. Very expensive hugs.
Well. You got to pay for quality.
Yeah, you're right about that. Love them Louis Vuitton
hugs. Not LV hugs.
Them Gucci hugs.
All right. Stay black.
Stay red hugs. All right, sis. I'll see you next week, and we will catch y'all next week, too. So stay tuned and look out for the new episodes.
Bye.
A shizzle.